Hi guys, welcome to the Unpopular Opinion. I'm Kemi,
Claire,
Prim,
and we're real.
Raw,
and
and
we're
we're
saying
saying
it
it
all.
all.
Okay, it's fine. Let's just get into it. Welcome back to another episode, you guys. We're very excited to have you. Look at where we are. We came in screaming.
Is this your podcast cast?
The teachers used to write
Do you also have a mic where you are?
Is it you with a mic right now?
Is it you with that band?
Is it you with
No.
your own logo? I don't
Kindly
know.
In an
respect
amazing
us.
studio. With an amazing studio. In an amazing studio. This was a surprise. We didn't expect
I know,
this.
right? No, we didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's
We didn't know it
Really
was being set up
wonderful.
like this.
Nzou Media, you guys have been the absolute
Always
best.
doing the
Surprising us.
It was actually a really beautiful surprise when we walked in and this is our set.
Yeah.
You know, the next time we come to shoot, we'll be like in air somewhere. And they're like, now the studio today is in satellite.
Today,
Join
we're in
us as
space.
astronauts. Like, oh, come with your astronaut costume.
My friends,
are
can
shooting
we do the
the
podcast thing? We need to be true to that podcast.
This is what we've been doing since we came in, because real podcasters have to be like, I want to say that what I really mean is, and I just, okay.
Girl, put it on a t-shirt. Say that again.
The excitement is mob. The excitement is mob.
Maybe a little malo.
So glad
but
these guys actually surprised
much
us. Like they
Malo.
didn't
Love it.
tell us
Love
about it
it.
and just walked in.
we feel legit. We're now real podcasters.
Right. And speaking of, you can now find us on wherever you get your podcasts,
Apple Podcast, Google
wherever you
Podcast.
get your podcasts. Starting today. The links will be in the bio. So welcome to our podcast. Okay, let's get into the topic. But anyway, yeah, shout out to Nzou Media Hub for just creating a really dope space for us to create what we create. We're just saying how it's just so self-contained. You guys, we come in and we do everything here. There's no, this is where we dress from, this is where we, everything just happens here, and it's so nice. Like, our production is here. It's the best thing ever. So, okay. All right, so today our conversation is around money. And we've talked about money many times because money, I think I've heard that money is actually like the most mentioned word in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's for a reason. It is for a reason. It just affects everything.
Oh,
So,
really? Not Jesus wept.
anywho, so it's about money, the elephant in the room, because it doesn't matter if it's family, friends, business relationships. Money is always delicate.
The center of everything.
It's always there, and it's like, how are we going to approach this and what? So it's that ever-existing elephant that we are pretending is not there. It's just, and then we're like,
elephant in the room.
well, it's always there.
You're not the elephant.
Not the elephant
It's
in
the
room,
money.
It's the money.
Anyway, so I thought we'd just start with what success means to us, because money is a big measure of success in our society, but I don't know, it's not always everything, but also maybe it is. We'll get into that. But what does success look like for you, Prim? Like, what does
So,
it mean?
When you said that money is not everything, it reminded me of an episode of Desperate Housewives when Gabi said that that's something we tell the poor people to keep them from rioting. So
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, but anyway, I feel like success has changed. My version of success has changed.
Yeah.
Over
With
time,
the different versions
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, because at first it felt like, oh, I need to. When I was younger, I need to have a master's degree by 30. I need to, be working in such and such a space, be at such and such a level and stuff. And the more I think I've come into like say my 30s, where is that master's degree, Prim? Where is that even like certificate in catering? Do I have it? Nothing.
Nothing.
So, but I also now have realized that it's not everything. But also, it's also like when you talk about money in terms of like what is my version of success, it also there's a time in like say the past 2-3 years where it was something very important in my relationships. And then I've also now met like a person with money, and I've gone just to like, you're not a kind person, right? So that has also changed too. Then that was like, okay, I thought this is what I wanted. I want it, but
It can't be all.
it can't be all.
Yeah.
Yes, it can't be all.
Yeah.
Like you will not probably buy jewelry or take me somewhere or do what and then cover up certain things. So my version of success changes with me. It keeps changing. with how much I change as a person. So I can't tell you that it's specifically this. No, it's relative. It's different.
It's fluid.
It's fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this season, like what's speaking to you as
Peace.
success?
Peace.
Okay.
Peace.
All right.
Peace of mind.
All right.
Peace of mind.
How about you?
Similar to Prim, I feel like I've changed. There's a time when my version of success was money in my account, or people knowing who I am, or those superficial. Okay, money is not superficial, but you know those things. But now, oh my God, that peace. The peace you have when someone comes and tells you that you are, let's say, toxic, because a couple of people have sent me a DMs recently because I wash my clothes in a washing machine. People call me toxic, or because I colored my hair and Prim colored her hair, I am toxic, or because Prim lost weight, I'm losing weight, I'm toxic.
Gatekeeping, weight loss.
I've been losing weight since we came onto
Listen,
this earth. So help me.
I was like, a couple of people have actually sent
know,
me. This is a little bit off topic that people sent me messages that because I am copying Prim, everything Prim does, I do. Anyway, but for me, success, me feels like I can sit here and I can confidently say, think what you want of me. I feel like I need think what you want to. I give you permission. I hereby give you permission to think what you want of me. And I feel like that I'm not obsessed with what people think about me.
Yeah.
You know, Prim and
You're
Fiona,
okay
you guys
with
are my
yourself,
friends.
yeah.
I'm okay with myself.
Yeah.
You guys are my friends. You are who matter. People on the internet really don't, you know, and that's just, especially considering that our career, our work, that we're so public and stuff, and everyone's going to take one small opinion and create a perception of you. I feel like last week I traded quite a bit, and it was last week now, but it was probably about 2 weeks ago by the time you see this, and I felt so good to not care.
Yeah.
You know, there's a point, if it had happened maybe a couple months ago, I would have been like, oh my God, people think I'm this, people think I'm this. But I've gotten to a place where I'm at peace with who I am, with what I am, with my choices, with my everything. So yeah, that peace, but also family happiness, you know, your mental health. My mental health is in the best place it's ever been. And my physical health is also in the best place it's ever been. So I feel like that's more, I can right now say that I am able to give more to the people I love around me, and not in terms of money, but in terms of other things, of how can I contribute to your lives. There's a point at which I couldn't be there for anyone, you get, because I wasn't even being there for myself. I feel like I need a so yeah, that's where I am. I'm fuller now.
Yeah.
Because at the point when I had money was a thing for me, a big thing. Ironically, someone said I love money so much. I do. I do. You are quite right. Anyway, confirmed. Anyway, but there's a point at which I was working, and you know, my mental health, I wasn't dealing with it, and so I had nothing to give, but I kept trying to give, but I had nothing. If you have nothing to give, you have nothing to give. You can't create it, you know. So I've realized this year, it's actually really important to give, to pour into yourself, and that looks very different from everyone. I know these are catchphrases we use on the internet all the time, but it's also true. But it's true. So I have done a lot of resting, and I've done a lot of self-reflection. You know, I've been able to forgive myself for stuff I did in the past that was taunting me.
My friend, just enter. Everyone now has all access to Pearl Magic Prime. Kasim, give this man some biscuits.
They're over.
But you see these people here, they're on DStv access, like you. But now they can watch big shows like Sanyu, or they can watch Beloved and they cry.
They have got my biscuits.
This is your home of entertainment.
So, and I remember sometimes someone asked me, what does doing the work mean? Doing the work sometimes feels like sitting down with your pain and allowing yourself to feel it. feel it. But you guys, I felt it. There's a time at which I felt it, but now I feel so much lighter.
Because you
And
dealt
for me,
with
that is successful
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter how much money you have or how many people know your name or how big your business gets. If you are not okay, that is not success.
Yeah. Ooh, amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I feel like we need a whole episode to
On that,
dissect
healing.
dissect this that you've said. We're actually saying earlier when we were beginning the episode that as we're getting older, we're feeling like we are so vanilla. Like our things are so, it's like, yeah, you guys, just my peace. But I don't know, you just get older and those are the things that matter. You find that the peace, because even when I'm asking you guys success, even me, the first thing that was in my mind was peace. Yes, I mean, we don't want all these things in life. Yes, I want to make money. I want to travel the world. I want to do all these things. But I really want to be peaceful. Like peace, like when I wake up in the morning and, you know, I can breathe. It's everything. I think peace, but also...
Yeah, for your version of success.
I don't know if should I call it emotional intelligence in my relationships? That's a very big measure of success for me. When I think even about a long-term partnership, I'm just like, is there an intelligence of how we deal with each other? Are we kind? Are we
respectful?
Yeah. Do we talk about stuff?
Hard conversations?
Yeah, like really hard ones, and also enjoy good stuff and really enjoy it deeply. Do we support one another? I think for those things are feeling like success. Of like I can be like, wow, this is going great in my life. Yeah.
I do understand what you're saying. However, we're also not going to take away from the fact that there are people who recognize success as the physical attributes. And I feel like this is especially the standard we've held gentlemen to. We've held gentlemen to the physical attributes. Like, oh, what do you have at this age? What do you have
nice
this and that?
car, a house.
And you notice, that the joke people make of, oh, they're going through this midlife crisis, whatever. And you see, the fact that we've held them to this standard, that's what they also feel like they have to bring to the table.
Yeah.
That's what they end up bringing to the table. Like someone will be like, but I gave you a house. That's why you'll be complaining about their, like, oh, you're not present in our lives and the kids' lives. And they're like, but they have a roof over their head. I have to find school fees for them. I have to find this and that. But they don't, like, that person will be devoid of the fact that, look at what devoid. Anyway,
You are a podcaster.
They'll be devoid of the fact that they also need to be present as fathers and as husbands, that there are other things that they should bring. But because from such a young age you've been told, provide, like a man should provide, a man should you find that this is all they know how to give.
Like this is the
not
value
everyone.
I have to offer.
This is the value I have to offer. Otherwise, I will not be respected. Otherwise, I will not be considered a man. You get? And there's all these jokes of like you've noticed how
If you can't contribute to money, kindly go and do the hard work, like the manual labor.
Yeah, he'll be the one. They'll be. I don't know if you've seen those dynamics where in families they say someone died, and people are gathering for a funeral or there's a wedding in the village, and there's one person whose particular husband they keep telling, oh,
you go and do this. Do the legwork.
Make sure that have you checked so and so's husband and where they're going to see? So you take care of the other in-laws, the husbands to the women in that family, because for them they are bringing money. The ones who are like, oh, let us bring the 2 million to cover the food. Me, I've given you 4 million. Then you are the kind of person who. So there's that. We are in a very vain world. Let us not lie. Yeah. People respect money and power. So we can't sit here and fool ourselves, because no one is going to be like, I really respect that aura of peace that you have on your head.
I do. Now I do.
Because you're going to first talk to this person and see that, and it's also something that you recognize that you've had to buy expensively. Yeah. You've paid a very expensive cost for you to have that peace of mind. So you recognize it. But I promise you, the reality out here is very different.
The first impressions is like, how have you presented yourself? Yeah. I mean, I guess it's even why it's such a big deal. Like when you're meeting in-laws, how can I shine my most shiniest?
Yeah.
How can I be the one with the best car, who has brought the best gifts and the best everything? I guess, you know how for us, I guess it takes us back to that thing of love, where love isn't everything. But again, also what is the definition of love here? Maybe feelings are not everything. Yeah. And then it's like, but also can you provide? But also can you this, and also can you that.
Which means then that success is our number of things.
Yes.
put together.
So some of the
can't
parts.
be so you can't be kind and poor, and you get it. Like
you can be.
You can be kind and poor.
You can be.
Before people take me out of and put me on the internet for abusing poor people. I have not. You can be kind and poor, but what I mean is for society to see you as successful, you can't just be kind. You know, you can't just be peaceful. No one cares about your peace. You know, you're the only person that cares about your peace, and I think that's something that's very, very important. That there is success on a societal level, and then there's success on a personal level. You know, and there's success on a professional level, career-wise, business-wise. That also then.
I'm glad you're speaking about that.
It's because then we all only ever look at success in the eyes of society.
We forget the things we've done that they are going to define as successful.
Which is why when you said that when a man will say, "But I buy you everything," because he has
given you everything.
And he feels like he has reached a level of success
that he was taught.
But he has no definition of what his own success is. For example, I know a lot of men who says, "Me njagala mirembe, I want peace." You know, but they don't do anything to contribute to the peace that they want.
But also what they mean is that they don't want someone in their ear saying, but this and that.
No, but then the thing is, if you want peace, you have to contribute to it for a fact. You
Of
can't
course.
be the one throwing bombs and someone else is going to give you peace. Does that make sense? So in your marriage, so you say you want peace. Let's say, for example, in your relationship, in your friendships, But I'm constantly the one coming to you, Fiona, and telling you, this, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. You get. So if I'm in a relationship, for example, my husband and I, if I say I would like, for example, I'd like cuddles in the morning. You know, I'd like a nice hug, and then it's a simple thing, But you're not giving it to me, and you want me to give you peace. Do you get what I mean? Like there's a version you have to
contribute.
Which is where I feel like a lot of men. They don't contribute to the success they want in terms of in those specific dynamics. You know, I want a house, but I didn't ask you for a house. I want a hug in the morning. I want you to love me. I want you to express your love for me.
I want a house, but also these other things.
Exactly. The house is nice, but you get it.
I'm lonely.
I'm lonely. There you go. I don't feel loved. You are not meeting a specific desire I naturally
so
have.
Other things actually
fade in comparison. Thank you. So I feel like it's a very important thing for us to talk about, to bring out, is that are you contributing to the success that you want to see, especially
so what does that look like for you?
I was going to say that even like, let's say, professional success and stuff like that. So you want, for example, success to you looks like marriage, a nice marriage, but you're sitting at home on a Friday night. Where are you going to find someone where are you going to meet someone? You're not helping yourself. You know, so you want a successful business,
but you are urgency.
Exactly. But you are procrastinating. You want a nice big career, but you are not improving on your skills. You know, or you're constantly scrolling on social media. Can we let's define success, but also know what it takes to attain the success that we want.
Well, speaking of workplaces, because now you've taken us there, and the business side, because earlier we were talking about how in workplaces there's, of course, there's the thing of being a woman, but we're not going to get into that today. But also there's just the thing of being the person who has a rich relative. Your father is rich, or your mother is rich, or they're the owner of the company, or like Abby in Crossroads.
Oh, there's a new show, guys. There's a new show that has replaced Sanyu. It's called Crossroads.
DStv Prime.
There's a new show.
Yeah, so there's a character called Abby whose dad, Herbert, is, like a really rich guy, and she's the one now like heading an entire, like arm of the thing, and she receives all of this just like bad energy because it's just daddy's girl. In spite of her qualifications, in spite of all those things become nothing when you are the one who is the child of the rich person. And it's unfair.
It's not fair.
I agree.
It's not fair.
I feel like, have we been like they've always asked me, like, have we been nasty to like people who are privileged? I will look.
Generally speaking, people are nasty. People feel entitled
We are
to
jealous.
being nasty. They even feel entitled to being nasty to people who they feel are more privileged than
You
them.
dismiss, this is
Which-
the thing. I feel like I had to make peace with the fact that, man, I grew up, like, I came from poverty, right? But somehow I really lived around people that were privileged, more privileged than me. The thing that I wasn't jealous, I wasn't envious of them, but I was manipulative of them. And I was, like, I remember, like, telling my sob story to these people, and I could tell that these are children. Like, now that I'm older, I look back and I'm like, these were children, and I was telling them this, so, like, making them feel uncomfortable, because as a child, they don't know what to do for you if you don't have school fees. They don't know what to do for you. They'll just feel bad about about being able to afford school fees. So these people go through life like that, feeling guilty for the privilege that they were born into. And, like, now I remember looking back and I cringe. I'm like, what the hell was that? You get being the what's that thing, the pity party, like, fine, tell a story, move on, right?
Yeah.
But then I had a lot of pity parties, like, oh, era me that. Fine, I picked it up somewhere, and now I see it. And I know that the more I understood it, the more I resented it. The more I don't like people who, like, fine, you get a job and you're like, I need this job because of this and that. But now you also start coming late and abusing this job, but you can't be called out because you're like, oh, I'm a single father and I have to do this and that. But you see, that also has to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
The truth is, the reason you're a single father should also be that motivation for you to actually and provide. You understand?
To come early.
To come
do
early,
your job,
Like, there's a time I got into, like, a guy knocked my car, and then he said, like, someone who just comes and fixes themselves in the line. And after that, they were like, Madam, please forgive him. You see, he's the one who takes care of his entire family. I was like, that is the very reason you should be driving carefully.
Thank you.
When you get on the road, you cease to be one person. You see, when my friends become parents, I tell them, now it's no longer about you. There's someone else who depends on you. If you've been drinking while and driving, you now stop because your life no longer belongs to you alone. Your wife is your next of kin and she has to pick up the pieces if something happened to you. Your child depends on you. So most of, like, these same reasons we give as excuses for our inadequacy should be the same reasons we give ourselves for motivation, right?
Yeah.
So when we see rich people and they're like, she's not, the thing is, the person is educated. The person was born into privilege. Isn't that why we're all working?
So that our children can be the privileged ones in the next generation.
So that my
there you
child
go.
can be Abby, so that she can run a whole production company. When you're dismissing them, I'm not saying that everyone that is privileged to join that company is qualified, but let them learn. Let them learn at the hands of their father. If we've talked about generational wealth in the previous episodes, that is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Let this child, if you work for a person like Abby's father, stop bullying Abby. Stop bullying the rich, privileged child that was born into wealth.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it's
she's
just
groomed.
like, now I look back and I'm like, it's sad that maybe my parents for me didn't leave me any inheritance. I wish they had. I wish I had a place to start from. You get? I wish I had a place to just now build on to and add. Unfortunately, I don't. But I'm not going to be employed in someone's company and start saying, oh, she's the director's child. You see, she doesn't qualify to be here. Who says that? Her father qualified her to be there because that's why he built that company. So that his child can come and learn. And so what if she doesn't know? Let her be groomed. Let her
You
learn.
have to groom. I mean, that's why there's so
We
few.
do the whole
we have barely 4
trust fund,
generations
baby.
of wealth for most of us in our country. I don't even know which 4th generation
even
wealth
think
we
we
have
have.
in this country.
Yeah.
I don't think we have it. So that's how these things break. If you're not grooming
You
the
decide
next
to
one, if
break
you're not
that.
grooming Kinsey, so then which
you go.
generation now?
There you go.
All the wealth stops with you.
We want to talk
Period.
about it, but then we also want
But
to
I
run
think
these
it's also
people out of the
hypocritical
the
because
company.
those same people would do the exact same thing.
Period.
Given the
Given
chance.
the chance.
Period.
Given the chance.
Like, come on, let's not pretend to be holier than thou.
Why not?
I am working so my daughter can have
a better life.
a much better life.
To be
You
my
know,
minister who-
not for the workers in my company. Yes, they can also benefit, but essentially, I'm working so my child can have a better life.
Yeah.
Excuse, you're going around shaming my child for her mother working for her. Are you mad?
They've successfully done it, because I know
They
a
have.
couple of people who are just like, man, I can't work for my father,
But
I can't work for my mother,
Yeah.
because the workers dismiss me, they disrespect me, they do this and that, they are not supportive. Like, they make the place so toxic that this person just ends up leaving. I know.
and yet I know
So
a
lack
lot
of
of
awareness.
people who are like, listen, if you don't, I remember there's someone who once told me, an employee who once told me, because obviously I own a school, so teachers have to be there early. And for me, I'd come in at like 10, and someone told me, for you come at 10, but you expect us to come here by 7.
You're saying that to the DOS, Director of Studies, Claire.
Owner of the school. Yeah?
Like, how dare you?
That is my
Come on, girl.
privilege.
Yeah.
For the fact that I've worked hard enough
get here.
to finance a business
And employ you.
and employ you. I make the rules and I make my rules. Does that make
Period.
sense?
Yeah.
Because I worked. People forget that people who are privileged have worked. Most of us have worked for our privilege. You understand? So I work, but again, no one works harder in my school than me. And yet people...
And it also worries you more than any of them, because
I
the
am
one worries about the
responsible for
salaries,
everyone
the
under that business.
the bills.
Responsible for you, whether money is there, whether money is not there, whether you sleep at night knowing on a certain date you're going to get what? Your salary.
Yeah.
Now for me, I'm not just worried about my salary. I'm worried about everyone's salary.
retention of
So for you
clients.
who's working just for you, for me, I'm working for me and everyone. Who do you think works harder?
Yeah.
Who do you think works harder? Might not look like it to you because I make my own rules and I can work at night. You might not see me working. Or I've worked.
But also, you
in a
come in
way-
at 10 and you cover most of the work. Like,
I
you've already
do.
told
I've
yourself
learned.
that at 10,
There you go.
I come in and I do this and
There
that
you
and
go.
that and that.
So I remember this person telling me this, like, for you come in at 10. And I'm like, first of all, this is not something you tell your boss.
Thank you.
Which means that you need to go back to school and learn how to speak to
leadership.
to leadership, because now it just shows you.
But these are things that are not taught in school.
No.
You know?
This is self-awareness. It's not
No.
taught.
These are not taught in school.
Do you
Not
get what I
taught to
mean?
tell you,
You have to
There
take
you
the
go.
steps to grow in that way.
Exactly. I'm like, there's some things you just can't say. You can think them, but why are you thinking
say
this?
them, yeah.
You get? You think that you should have the same as me.
Yeah.
Who pays your salary?
It speaks
you
so
have to
much
go and
into your
analyze
work
It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. It speaks a lot to work ethic. It speaks a lot to the person you are and how employable you are and how successful you are going to be.
That's true.
Because for me, what I did when I was the one employed and I had to be there early, I was like, I'm going to work hard enough.
Without
I'm going
fail.
to save so much so that I can have my own business so no one will ever tell me what to do.
I feel like now we should have
Do you
like
see
a-
the different train of thoughts?
Yeah.
And that's where now stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Stop appreciate people's privileges and then decide that you're going to work
I'm going to
hard
do that for my child.
and do it for yourself or for your child.
I think we should have a whole other episode about work ethic. It's
We really
amazing.
should. I'm an employer. I have stories. My God.
Work ethic is.
I have
We
stories.
have a very relaxed culture in this country.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's too much. It's way too much.
We're too relaxed about a lot of things. But anyway, friendship, because I feel like, of course, there's so many things that affect our friendships, money inclusive. Like, it can be a thing that affects how people relate, and even seasons change. I mean, we see these things of these ones were friends, but then maybe, the season changed and now they're in maybe a time of plenty. And so those are the people around them because they want to go to Bahamas with their friends, but you can't afford Bahamas. So now, I don't know, things start changing.
Yeah.
Things start to change, and it's not even because they are bad people, but genuinely maybe the season in their life has changed, and somehow they find themselves not accommodating each other. And I feel like it's kind of scary because I would like to think, I think we would all like to think that the people that we have loved and that we are friends with, we're going to continue with them
Together.
forever.
It's not life.
But then
That's not the reality.
money can happen.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Money really is
experienced
the
that?
elephant in the room. I've received messages like that where someone is like, so there are two sides to this story, right? There are two friends. Some of them it's a group. You all like probably leave high school. Maybe those other guys start working. Maybe others have money, like business or whatever. And then there's someone who is just struggling to make ends meet. So I received messages from the someones who are struggling to make ends meet. They're like, oh, my friend stopped hanging out with me. However, I also would like to go to the side of the friends that stopped hanging out, because there are those who have said, Prim, we have a friend who got so much into the whole, because they're like, we don't mind when our friend comes with us and we split on her bill, right? But you see, the pride of the human being won't let that happen, right?
Yeah.
It's okay for you to understand that, you know what, I am not in this season right now and I don't have as much. I have, there's a friend of mine I respect so much who would tell us, she'll be like, you'll be like, guys, let us meet. Like, we used to meet once a month and we used to share that Nando's pizza. You know how they had a promotion on, I think, Tuesday? So we used to meet and buy a pizza of 35K and then share. We're like 6 people, so that's like 5K. So our friend would sometimes be like, I can't make it. I've already spent my outing money for this month. Can we meet next month, maybe around 13th? I respect that about her to this day, and she has some of the best financial discipline. Now even when she has plenty. So it's okay for you to be the kind of person who says that I am not able to come to the trip. But it doesn't mean that you're going to go and say that, oh, you're my friend, those guys changed. For me, they took me out of the group because I wasn't able to afford the trips and stuff like that. Like, it's okay for you to recognize that you're not able to go on those trips, you're not able to do these things, and it's okay. You can still be friends with these people and probably meet, you know, on other things. Meet on other things when you can afford, when you can't afford, that's okay. But also there's a version where these people feel like they now start to say that, oh, so and so used to come and be moody. You get? They would come and have silent treatment. And then I've also noticed that there are people who, when they have plenty, they're uncomfortable showing it because they're like, hey,
want people, you know,
how are they going to take it?
You know, it happened with friends.
They're like,
I don't know if you guys
yeah,
watch Friends,
they'll be
exactly
guilty.
happened with
They'll be
Friends.
guilty for the predicament that the other people are in. So they resort to one be like leaving a car, you know, like they don't want to act, they actually don't, someone wants to buy a new car, but they're like, hey, this guy's so-and-so is going through this. I'm always telling my friends, please never feel bad that for me, I'm going through a certain season that you don't share your good news. I'm always saying, please come and share your good news. But I've also noticed, like, I know that a lot of people are going to recognize this, that there are times they can't share their good news because a friend of theirs, what you're sharing about a new job, and your friend has no job, has been looking for 5 years. Yes,
Yeah.
You're sharing that you're engaged now, your guy proposed, but your friend she just like got dumped, or she just ended a relationship. You get? So now you see, now this other friend is also interpreting it differently. Like, oh, she got engaged and just like ditched me. I think I wasn't good enough for that friendship. I think she feels like I was going to be jealous. So there's like, you understand this? Yeah, you misunderstand each other.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Being an adult is just complex.
I know.
It's just complex. Because now when you're a kid, you don't have all these problems.
know.
Yeah, now this one has money. Now what do I do?
You're just fighting over the bicycle.
And you know, sometimes it's not even just financial contribution, it's emotional contribution, it is physical contribution. Like, sometimes I cannot be there financially, sometimes I cannot be there emotionally, sometimes I cannot be there physically. I might come, let's say, and give you money, but I have no emotional
Attachment,
bandwidth.
yeah.
I have nothing emotional to give you. And I feel like often we want everything at the same time. But again, we forget that we're human beings. We're human beings. I am not in the exact same emotional space that you are in.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to call me and I need, you know, and I'm going to give you money for very long. I just would send money. Because I didn't have the emotion. When I told you I was empty, empty. I didn't realize I was empty emotionally. And I just sent money because I legit had nothing emotional to give, you know? And I feel like that's something that we don't talk about a lot at all, you know? It's and the friendships, I haven't experienced friendships where like there's been a money thing. The thing has been money. I haven't. So I won't lie. Maybe I'm privileged. Money has not been a thing. So if someone has less, it's not even a thing.
You've not thought of it.
I've not even thought that you have less, so I'm going to be uncomfortable with you. I've never been in that situation. So I can't really advise, but I'd say let's say I was hanging out with you guys and I suddenly didn't have any more money. But you guys have it's happened before that one of us I didn't have money. And I just feel like the automatic thing is I never put my financial burdens on you. but you also never made it such a highlight. Does that make sense?
I guess it's just like if hearing you saying it also just making me think it's not a given. It's actually maybe it's just a privilege of being maybe in not the same place. We're all in different places, but maybe in having a similar
Mindset.
appreciation
Okay.
of maybe what happens in this time or that time. But it's not automatic because maybe it wouldn't have been like this some years ago. Maybe we met also, so we met when we were older. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I
it
think
doesn't
it's
happen for people
important.
when they're younger, but
When I feel like somehow people in their 20s have a lot more of these problems than we do when you're in your 30s.
if you've done the work,
I
let's not
think.
even say when you're
Anyway, if
because
you've
we have
done
met
the
also
work,
people
'cause
in
we
their
think
40s who are
50 young
somehow
adults that still have issues.
Please. No.
That's
no.
true.
It's
But I
me.
think it's more prevalent with, especially in our
Of course, when you're
audience.
younger and you know
When
less.
you're younger and you know less and everything is just, oh my God, the world is ending.
Yeah.
And then you realize really it's not.
Actually,
You're
it's not
just going
ending.
through a season and yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there was one thing that I was thinking of when I was coming. I remembered when I used to work somewhere and we had a colleague who used to come from very, very, very far away. Like far. They had a really, really nice home. But you guys far off should have to wake up like at twilight to carry. Now also kids are going somewhere else and then she's going all the way, like way across not even across town, I don't know what I can call it. The kilometers were many. I remember thinking, because now as I was younger, I had just started working one, and I thought, if I had some money, because then they had, of course, some money, they were more established. I thought, if I had some money, would I be pursuing the success of I have a house to the detriment of my peace of just, you guys, she was perpetually tired. She was perpetually tired.
Quality of
And
life.
to me, that just didn't feel successful.
Yeah.
I'm like, this person has more money, but I think I'm feeling a bit of success. Coming here and I've slept for 9 hours. Because there's that pressure of you should be having a house. How can you not have a house at your big age? You should be having, I don't know what. If you don't have that one, it's
Someone
not
is doing
it.
very well and people are just shaming them for renting. Let me tell you something.
Can you imagine?
We have such a very poor mentality when it comes to that subject, right? This is, let me tell you, and oh my God, thank you for talking about this. Growing up, I remember one time they sent me home for school fees. And when I came home to get school fees, I found my mom seated at the door. So I just told her, did you forget the key? She's like, no, the landlord changed the padlock. Like, generally, you've not paid rent. So they've changed the padlock. You're generally locked out of the house, right?
You have nowhere to live.
Yes. And how much was our rent? 70,000 and 20,000 for electricity in a house that had a big rat. Anyway, so we couldn't afford that house with the rat. But, so my mom, so I remember that was a very common thing in our home. Our landlord comes, threatens, then my mom pays like at least 2 months, then leaves the 4 months like that. So the first thing that I did when I could afford was buy land and then start building. So one day I woke up and realized that, this house is stuck here, right? It is not complete, it's an incomplete shell. Not even a shell, it's an incomplete structure, right? But we've already sunk in about 100 million plus. So now I don't have that 100 million. The house is not complete. We are not able to live in it. We are not. Do you understand? And at first, I had the anxiety of we have to build, because for me, I needed to heal the young part of me that was afraid of homelessness, right? And for me, I didn't realize that was the problem. I just feel like it's an urgency that I have a house. But here I was affording my rent, and rent was always paid on time, right? So one day I realized, I asked myself, why do you feel the need to, like, why was it the first investment that you made? Why didn't you think of starting a business? Why didn't you think of doing ABC, right? Then I realized that I had such a profound fear of coming home and the landlord has locked the door. And when I sat with myself and realized that is where I was coming from, I actually let that house sit for another, 2-3 years without ever touching it. Like I became okay with, it's okay. Like now I told myself, Prim, it's okay. You're not going to be homeless again. You're not going to be locked out again. It's okay for you to be able to afford. If you can afford rent, it's okay. And I talked to my friend Pam, who told me, Prim, there are so many business owners that rent houses of $1,000 per month, and they pay an entire year. they actually have a lot of money in the bank. They have a lot of investments. They are not broke.
But they're not
but
building.
but in our country, a lot of people think that when you are renting, no, you've not succeeded.
We don't understand
You
money.
yes, you've not succeeded because you're still renting.
Yeah.
You've not, like, people will be there like. And a friend of mine was struggling with this recently. And when she called me, it's like, oh, you know, people say that as we are still renting, now they're like, that guy is doing all these things for the family, but he's not building her house. And I'm like, you are seated in your 3-bedroom house typing this message in Bulindo. You're seated in Bulindo.
And
Your
you
3-bedroom
have
house.
3-hour
typing this
traffic.
message, shaming someone that they've, like, they live in a comfortable house. They are okay. They are able to afford their house. They're able to afford their bills. So you're not any different. Simply because this person is renting doesn't mean that they sleep outside. No.
Yeah.
So most of us just have, and you see, it's one of the definitions of societal success that
It
Claire
is.
was talking about. That, you have to have built a house. But my friend Pam was telling me, Prim, do you know it's okay for you to actually rent for the rest of your life?
It's okay.
It's okay. Like, as long as you can afford that rent, you can say that now I've grown, my income has grown, I can now move to a house of 4 bedrooms and rent it at this much. And then, like, it's okay.
And I think it's more the convenience, you guys. When I mean convenience is so important.
Yeah.
I
Because what
imagine
is the
myself-
point of having a nice, lavish house, but you live
And you're not
5 hours?
sleeping. You're sleeping for 2 hours.
Exactly. You have to wake up
What
at
is-
4.
What am I benefiting
But you
from?
guys,
Am I enjoying the
you
house?
You tell wake up at 5 today to come here because I live in Entebbe. Why am I the topic of this discussion?
No, but to be fair, so okay,
But anyway,
fine.
for me, my priority is the peace that Entebbe brings me.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
serenity.
Yeah.
So that's
See, for
my
you, that's
reason.
convenient.
Hey, for me, that's convenience, by the way.
What's all this isn't even your workplace? You come here how
It
many
isn't,
times?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Come
You're
once
right,
a
but I
month,
actually
yeah.
do live next to my workplace.
So this is once
when
in
you
a
look
while.
at it,
It
yes,
actually
once in a
makes
while.
sense.
It's actually like sometimes we put so much emphasis on things, but then you're like, quality of life, though.
Right?
You know, so you have to leave town at 11 o'clock or 10 after
That's true.
traffic,
Yeah.
and then wake up after 4.
When do you enjoy that house
enjoy
that
your
you built?
house?
Yeah.
When do you enjoy it?
You're building houses for the nannies that live there and the people that work in your house.
I know friends who have
Because-
lived very far away places. Like, they had homes there. I have a friend who was just like, you know what? I built this house, yes, but you know what?
I'm
It's
suffering.
not, I'm suffering. They're like, I'm getting to
listen.
work late, which is affecting my performance at work, which is affecting.
tired.
And they moved. They're like, you know what? They moved into an apartment closer. I think, is it Nali?
And you know, even that you can't even rent that house because it's so far. And even if you
Just-
rent
it's
it,
your
you won't
country
get
home,
money.
maybe.
You won't get enough money for it. So you're building this
So we're
huge
really not
lavish
about
money.
investment.
Yeah,
and money
like
very
money.
well.
Like,
For you,
because
for
you
us to
can,
know
just
our
like you said,
priorities.
you can be in that apartment, but you are building wealth. You've invested in, I don't know which bond, this, that, you're running things, you're building money. Someone is in their 3-bedroom, 5-bedroom home that they have built.
But me, I
Collecting
saw it.
what?
I saw
That's
it.
it.
Building wealth.
No, I
Just
saw it. Remember, like in COVID, like I remember when by the time COVID hit, my priority was just like
Build.
build it, build.
Yeah.
Then COVID hits, and I don't even have like a single coin.
Because
I remember
everything
telling
And yet
my
you see
friend-
all your money
because
in
that's
that.
what you're told. You're
that
told
house.
that make
Everything
sure
they
when,
tell us.
when you're building, you put everything there. Like
Every
don't-
coin you have,
every coin you
it
have,
must go
yes,
there.
So I remember my friend asking me, no, I was like, so wait, you didn't have savings? I said, no, why would I
have a
save? I
house.
put everything here.
The house.
But guess what? The house wasn't done, so I was still paying rent.
it's
from
looking
COVID.
at
I
you
needed
like
the
so.
rent to pay the COVID. It was a shell, God knows what. And ever since then, I paced myself. Like I woke up and my partner and I were just like, you know what? We're going to do this. Oh, if it takes 5 years and 6 years to enter, that is okay. There's no hurry. We decided to phase it. We now like, okay, now let us do this. All right, now if that's what we've done for this year, that's okay. But our versions of success is not something we should impart on other people. If for you it's having a house in, I don't know, a 3-bedroom house, where that is for you, that's okay. Like me, then I would have shamed probably someone and said, hey, you're still
You don't
renting.
have a house.
You don't have, But now, after, meanwhile, the people who are shaming you, you see, there's something there. There's something. The person that I'm shaming would never have known that for me, it's because I grew up homeless. Like, we were just afraid of being homeless 24/7. That's why I was doing this like that, right? So most times that's why I tell people, when you're listening to people's advice or when you're listening to people telling you, do this, do that, please take it with a pinch of salt because they are coming from
Their
places
reasons
they
are
different.
completely different.
Sometimes they don't even realize that what their reasons are. We've not sat down to realize that this is why I am so afraid of this and that. Yeah.
So this is a conversation that can definitely go on and on. There's so much to be said about money and how it impacts how we relate with ourselves and also others. And we're going to recommend a show, you guys. Crossroads is really doing the most with that storyline around like wealth. the interplay, the
Interplay.
Work politics.
work politics, even just like family dynamics and how, I don't know, Abby's in this wealthy family. How does that affect how she's interacting with other people? How other people see her? Can she date someone who is in a lower quote unquote class? That's also in the storyline, guys. It's a whole situation. But we'll leave all the links in the description and you can check that out. Sanyu ended, by the way.
It ended.
I know you've heard us
and
talk about it a
was
lot.
Such
But I really liked seeing her character growth. I told you guys that she grew so much that I honestly just disliked. I always wanted to put her hate. Like now that it has ended, I feel like, where do I put my hate?
yeah.
I have nothing to do. Like, where do I put my hate?
Maybe you'll find someone new.
It was such a beautiful show. I watched it. I literally started watching it this year, so toward the end. So now I have a lot of content. I'm going to go all the way back
Yeah.
and watch it
Yeah,
all from
and
the
you can do that on
beginning.
the app, actually.
And yeah, you can do that on
On the DStv app.
DStv app.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can catch
So
up with-
I'm actually looking forward to it. It's just like 30 minutes a day and I catch up on all these. But I loved
do
the
that
way
at
it ended.
8 p.m.
I loved the way the people who needed to be put in their place were put in their place. People, there's no
Which
price
is
for
those
being
satisfying
evil.
endings.
A guy opened like the gate and slapped her cheek. Like, what I do?
No, I like
Agree
the
to
You
disagree.
know, it means to open a gate and someone just slaps you, and that's it. That's how that part is wrapped up.
fair enough. But I like the fact that the people who needed to be put away were put away. The people who needed to be.
I actually like that guy went to prison. Yeah.
And me too. I
It
like
makes
that
like a
Sanyu was
bit-
made
yeah.
what was he? Oh,
Because
she got into the Mrs. Chirunda's position, and I loved that. Like we could see that the kindness pays off. Meanness
that
doesn't.
chick became firm.
Yeah.
That chick and
She
No,
grew.
she became
Her
firm, but she
character
was
grew and
kind.
She became firm.
She became firm, yes, but that's the thing. Her character grew. Her as a person, she grew.
Yeah.
She grew.
You know, she became firm. She stopped letting people push her around.
Yeah.
But also, she kept her kindness. She kept her. She was always fair in situations. You know.
Because she had seen both sides.
I suppose.
Maybe.
Anyway, there was a lot of growth, and I
Yeah.
loved the way it ended. I
Her
really
character
liked the way it
growth was
ended. So
really
now I'm going to go all the way back. I saw the first episode. I was like, because there are
The
two
show has
different.
actually been running for a while.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could no the Sanyu you see in the
Is
last
different,
episode
yeah.
is
Completely
the
different
first episode. She's
person.
so annoying.
She's like a mouse.
She's so annoying.
Yeah.
You're just like, can
Just
you
a push-
get a backbone
yeah.
for crying out loud?
Yeah.
So if you're like me and you have only just started watching, let's go all the way back to episode 1 and catch up. Let's grow with Sanyu from all the way at the end.
You see that change.
At the
Very-
beginning.
the change was tremendous. I will be very honest with that. And I even came to hate it. Like I feel like she overdid it. Now, like the change was overdone. But
I feel like
Anyway, I guess the good news is that PMP is now on Access as well. Power Magic Prime, you can access it for literally 50K. So for the Access package, so feel free to just click the links in our bio, learn more, and so that you also don't you be on par with us when we are discussing some of these topics.
So guys, if you want to hang out with us, we're inviting you to come join us. The Unpopular Opinion Live Show. This is our 3rd edition. Can you believe it? I'm so excited. This year we're going to be talking about, our topic is the man of your dreams versus the
Woman
of his. So we're inviting gentlemen to our table, to our stage.
have men told us their dreams? Are we dealing with
Well-
Joseph? Are we dealing with Joseph?
For the
and
dreams
we
in the Bible.
share his dreams?
You have to be there to know.
You have to be there to know.
Okay.
So we feel like we are going. There's a much needed, one of the most needed conversations of our
yeah.
entire generation. Men seem to be going that way. Women are going that way. We're not aligning. Women are tired. Men are fed up. Instead of doing like this, we are doing like this. And we
we're
want
just all
to
waiting for
sit
Jesus.
down. I think Jesus will help. But in the meantime, while we wait for Jesus,
We're waiting for him to come back, and then they can
We'll
be
change
a new
our ways.
creation. No, there'll be a new creation.
maybe they'll create different men and women. Anyway, we need to have these conversations. Mental health, and when it comes to men, especially women as well. Marriage, how successful can we be in marriage? Are these conversations needed for us to have successful relationships with the opposite sex? raising children, how are we going to raise the next generation of men and women to not go through what is happening right now?
So that men are not only focused on strategic roles, but also
Yeah,
other things.
exactly.
You guys know the reference. Anyway,
We don't raise.
Come
men
with your
who-
microwaves. Bring your microwaves to
if
the
you
live
like,
show.
we'll set up in a way that you can bring your different electronics,
Yeah.
so that you can really state your
not a
case in a way that's it's practical.
Yeah.
You can state that
Yeah.
when I cook the matoke
Defend.
and I put it in the microwave,
It's
Shout out,
okay.
shout out to
no?
Katesi who puts her matoke in foil.
Yeah. in an oven.
and the rest of us Kampala girls want that.
Anyway,
See you.
your tickets, we're putting the link below. Please go buy your ticket. Come hang out with us. Come have a wonderful, wonderful day with us. Unpopular
love to
Opinion
hear
Live Show
from
is
you,
such
yeah.
a hit. We want to hear from you. We can't actually tell us. Are you going to be there? Are you not going to be there? Also, don't forget to subscribe.
And like and share and comment. Bye.
Bye.